Afternoon, afternoon, guys. Morning, everyone in South Africa. Just a quick one to Cobus. You made your test debut against the Aussies like a decade ago, and another opportunity for you to prove that you still have it 10 years later.
Yeah, made my debut against them in Cape Town, 2014. You're right. Started young those days, and still a little bit young in the bone. So it's always fun. It's going to be a huge challenge for us as a team to go out there and put a performance on that we are proud of. So it's not anything individual. It's just the whole team just needs to put a show on that our people can be proud of.
Mike?
Question for Cobus. I'm not too sure how often you played with Sasha, but what are the attributes you're picking up from him, and what are you looking forward to seeing from him on Saturday?
Yeah, I haven't played with him as 9 and 10, but the whole week he shows he's got a rugby head on him. He's a young boy, but he's hugely talented, and I'm really excited for him to go out there. He's got the backing of the 22 other players and the rest of the squad here to just go out there and express himself and enjoy the moment. I think he's going to do well. I think there's a lot of X factor in him. He's going to pull a few strings and create a few opportunities, I think.
Stephen?
Thank you very much, Z. Question for Ox. Ox, just in terms of, the scrum clock and the 30-second rule there, how's it been going with the guys in training? Are you guys confident that you'd be able to, get through that no problem and have the same power in the scrums?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, we've looked at all our scrums even before these slight law changes, really. But we always say, we always buy the ref when way before 30 seconds. So I think it shouldn't be a problem for us. We just have to adapt. And I mean, we did speak about it and we made plans for it. So yeah, we'll just simply adapt, and it shouldn't be a problem for us.
Percy?
Morning, Zina. Good morning, gentlemen. Or good evening. Zina, I missed your introduction. Can I ask Afrikaans, man?
Percy, since your hand is up next and no one else's is, yeah, that's fine.
Thank you so much, Zina. Cobus, kan ek gewoon vir jou vra? Gewoonlik 'n soortgelyke vraag so my kollega Michael gevra het. Gewoonlik julle as 'n skakelpaar moet 'n soort van 'n verhouding vorm. Jy laat dit klink asof julle die week redelik saam mekaar gewerk het. Hoe dink jy gaan hy verhouding? Het julle 'n verhouding nodig in 'n groot toets teen die Wallabies? En net kortliks, wat is jou geskiedenis met die Wallabies self? Hoe gereeld het jy al teen hulle gespeel?
Ja, ek dink skakelpaar gaan altyd 'n verhouding nodig hê, maar dis hoe ons hier oefen op van die begin af, vanaf die squad bymekaar gekom het. Die ouens ry in op 15, op 10, op 12. Ons is op 9 en op vleuel. Sodat jy bou jou verhouding daar, of jy net oefen en uit posisie uit oefen, al die tipe goed. Jy leer mekaar, jy leer hoe die ander se kop werk. So dit gaan nie 'n probleem wees nie. Soos ek gesê het, hy het die backing van almal op die veld en die wat opkom. So hy kan net uitgaan daar en homself uitleef en weet dinge gaan, ons het, as daar 'n fout kom, ons het hom. So daar's geen worries van sy kant af nie, en van die verhouding tussen die skakelpaar nie, want ons oefen al lank aan mekaar, ons ken mekaar, ons eet elke aand saam. So ja, geen worries daaroor nie. En dan met Australië het al 'n paar keer teen hulle gejol, soos ek gesê het, my eerste game vir die Bokke. En ek was ook in Brisbane in 2015 hier. Het ek die laaste keer daai tyd was ek laas jaar ook teen hulle gespeel, maar ek dink dit was die laaste keer oor see wat ek teen hulle gejol het.
Justin?
Thanks, Z. Ox, this one's for you. Coach Rassie spoke yesterday about obviously the focus on the now, but a small focus also on the future, on 2027, and building that depth for you guys as front rowers. Healthy competition to have so many options and having to work harder to get your starting berth and potentially even that place on the bench?
No, definitely. I mean, it's amazing to actually have the young guys come in and they absolutely talented. They're strong. They work hard. They like very humble. So it's amazing to work with guys like that, and I think they fit in perfectly into the system. So it's good, healthy competition, and like for us, I wouldn't say I'm one of the older guys, but like it definitely does keep me on my toes. It's just an amazing health environment, and the willingness to see guys learn just reminds you actually where you used to be as well as a player when you came in, how desperate you actually wanted to wear the Springbok jersey, and how desperate you have to be now to actually like stay part of the squad and stay playing.
Steven?
Thanks, E. Cobus, I'm just curious how you feel about the law variations in terms of the protection it gives to scrum halves. Do you think it could potentially make you, more dangerous, or how could it help you? Let me rather put it that way.
Yeah, I think we'll find out on the weekend how the law changes affected us or will affect us. But I think it's cleaning up the game around the ruck a little bit, which will allow our nines to get out one or two steps and attack the line before we choose our option. But in some games you don't want to run anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just how we plan for that week, how we want to attack, what exactly we want to do. But yeah, I'm excited to see how quickly we can get the ball away there.
Annemie?
Hello. Question for Cobus. Just in terms of the Wallabies, they've got a new coach. We haven't seen a lot of them. We don't play against them in Super Rugby anymore. That makes them a bit unfamiliar to us. Is that a good or a bad thing? What do you expect from them?
Yeah, I won't say it. They're unfamiliar. Big word. Because we do a lot of research on them. We prep how they attack. We learn the way they do stuff in the game, so that we can be prepared and in the week prepare us for the game on the weekend. So even though we don't play them in Super Rugby, we do have the footage. We go sit in front of a computer, we watch guys play and try and figure out how or what their strong points and weak points are. So it's not Super Rugby. I mean, it doesn't matter if we play Super Rugby or not. I think with a new coach, a lot of new players coming through, they're going to be hugely desperate to get their fifth win on in a row. So for us, we just need to have our preparation set and done and clarity on what we want to achieve in the game.
Can you solve?
Thank you very much, Zina. Good evening, gentlemen. Cobus, this one's for you. Cobus, you've been to Australia a few times, as either going the Sharks or the Boks. What makes winning in Australia so difficult for the Springboks?
I think, yeah, sometimes in the older days, or a few years ago, we would look past Australia because we have maybe New Zealand after, or we don't prepare as well because we know there's more games to come and tougher games to come, and we're not doing that anymore. We focus just on what's coming on the weekend. We don't care about next weekend or how we're going to prep or what we're going to do. We're just focusing on the now and here and what we need to do as a team to get the win, and again to put a performance out there that is worthy of our people.
Percy?
Baie dankie Zina. Cobus, net nog 'n vraag, 'n soortgelyke vraag soos my kollega Annelie gevra het. Jy het my herinner dat jy 'n debuut in 2014 gemaak het. Die wêreld het sedert dramaties verander in die laaste 10 jaar, meneer. Kan ek jou vra vir die jaar tydens die Wêreldbeker was Australië 'n land, 'n span wat afgeskryf was. Jy het sopas ons genoem dat hulle nou 'n paar oorwinnings in 'n ry gehad. Kan die Springbokke die wêreldkampioene bekostig om hierdie Wallabies span onder nuwe afrigter te onderskat nie?
Kijk, daar was 'n tyd waar ons ook nie te goed gedoen het in die rankings en al daai tipe dinge nie. Ons het 'n paar games verloor en dinge het nie positief gelyk vir ons nie. En dit het ons elke keer net meer en meer desperaat gemaak. En ek dink dis waar ons vir Australië nou kan sit. Hulle is en gaan desperaat wees om hierdie game te wen. So daar's nie jy kan nie altyd bepaal wat 'n ou wat desperate is wat hy gaan doen en hoe sterk hulle gaan uitkom nie, maar ons kan bepaal wat ons doen en hoe ons die game mentally en fisies gaan aanvat. So ek het vroeër gesê ons prepare baie vir hulle, maar ons moet onsself ook prepare vir wat ons kan doen en waar ons sterkpunte lê.
Steven?
Thanks, E. Ox, there's a lot of chat around the law variations these days, potentially depowering the scrum a bit and less scrums and so on. You know how proud we South Africans are of your scrumming. Does it require a kind of a different approach to conditioning for props now?
I mean, I don't think it's like the low variation in terms of like making the scrum 30 seconds is actually depowering scrums, but it's just like the demands obviously a bit more from the front rows or like the entire forward pack actually. So I think in a sense as well, you have a lot of people talking about how the scrum is, and I've said in previous interviews before that most people want scrums into the game and they should just go watch rugby league. I mean, there's no scrums there and it's pretty similar. But in this, I think they adapted well, making the scrums a bit quicker and making sure that, as well, like for coaches and for players as well, for you to actually be able to come deliver your trade to show the world what you're really good at as a tight forward, then you have to kind of meet the fitness requirements, make sure you set quickly, make sure that the game just keeps on flowing and you don't have guys slowing the ball down just because they're at a disadvantage or anything. So I think it's actually beneficial, but it just obviously requires a bit more from the forwards but besides that, I think the quickest teams that will adapt to the variations are the ones that are going to do well, really.
Mike?
For Cobus, another question similar to what I asked you about your combination with Sasha. Obviously at number 8, you got a newcomer there too. Just talk about how important it is to get that combination with your number 8 right, and how that was settled down quite quickly in the game.
Yeah, like I said, the combinations and all of that, we all good mates and we're a great family here. So we sit and talk. Me and Elrich just went out for coffee now. So the combination on the field, it gels quickly. It can gel in a week, it can gel in a day. The way we train and the way we rotate the squad and. So yeah, I just tell him he needs to put his head down and scrum the opportunities we get to scrum so Oxy can have his cake. So that's his main job from the start.
Okay, and then we'll take the last question for these two gents from Kanyiso.
Thank you very much. I'll just have two short ones for both. Ox, just let me in on what you know about the Australian scrum, on what you've seen, especially with the work by Cron, who's a renowned scrum doctor. And Cobus, just talk to me about the prospect of facing Nick White. Nick White is known to be quite the antagonist on the field. As you would have seen what happened back in Adelaide in 2022.
Well, for me, I think the scrum is very unpredictable, but they can see that they actually won the scrum. They stay in a contest. I mean, they do really anything to make sure that they actually dominate and they go forward. So I think it's going to be a big challenge for us. And also, given that we don't actually we're not in the Super Rugby anymore. So we actually, this is the first time I think in 2 years or since last year that we actually get to scrum against them. So yeah, it's going to be a good challenge. But from what we've seen, they can be very unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to bring on the day, and we just have to be prepared for anything.
Yeah, and about Nick White, he's a great player and a great bloke off the field. He likes to get in your head with the sledging and pushing and shoving, but that's all tactics to get you off task. And again, it's something we spoke about. We need to stay on task. We need to stay calm in the head and do our job. So if he plays or not, and it's not just going to be him that will come with tactics to irritate us and all of that. That's the way they go about their game, and we know how to, or we'll do our best to control ourselves.